I can't believe summer is finally here. That means two things. Number one, time to show off that manatee-like body you've been cultivating all winter, eating pizza rolls and binging internet videos. And number two, the triumphant return of the summer blockbuster. That's right, summer movies are returning with a vengeance. I'm Wolfgang, and this is FOMO's ultimate guide to summer movies. Right out of the gate, summer comes out swinging. On May 5th, we get the third and possibly final entry in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy series. I say possibly final entry because director James Gunn has since left the Marvel Cinematic Universe to helm things up over at the DC Comics movie division. On top of that, beloved Drax the Destroyer actor, Dave Bautista, has said that this is his last romp as Drax before hanging up his daggers. To be honest, I'm incredibly curious to see how they deal with the return of Gamora. But I'll tell you, after watching that Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special last December, I'm definitely excited to go on one last adventure with Star-Lord and his crazy crew. So if talking raccoons aren't really your bag, we have the 10th installment of the Fast and Furious franchise, creatively titled, wait for it, Fast 10. That's right, they've made 10 of these films. You know, you would think at this point they would just be slow and exhausted. This time around, Jason Momoa joins Vin Diesel as Dominic pulls the family together to take down a vengeful drug lord and pull off over-the-top stunt action, all on May 19th. You know, Dominic's insurance premiums must be insane. Hey, you want thingamabobs? I've got 20. And on May 26th, The Little Mermaid live action comes splashing into your DMs, bringing with it some much-needed summer refreshment. Newcomer Halle Bailey is slipping on the fins with Melissa McCarthy vamping it up as Ursula the Sea Witch. You may want to pass on the gallon-sized soda and popcorn for this one because this movie comes in at a whopping 2 hours and 15-minute runtime. To put that in perspective, the original 1989 cartoon was only 1 hour and 15 minutes long, which makes me wonder what sort of surprises they are going to have in store for us. My spider sense is tingling because on June 2nd, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse will be web-slinging its way into a theater near you. I don't know about you, but I've been waiting a long time for this one. Sony has kept this project seriously under wraps, so you know there are going to be a lot of fantastic surprises to come. I'd also heard that they decided to split the film into 2 parts, so be ready for a cliffhanger ending on the par with Avengers Infinity War. Is it just me, or have Transformer movies gotten a little weird lately? What? No? Okay, I guess it's just me. Anywho, on June 9th, Anthony Ramos from Hamilton fame gets behind the wheel and rolls out with Optimus Prime and a giant gorilla. Am I reading this right? For Transformers Rise of the Beasts? So does he eat like Energon bananas or something like that? I guess we'll all have to roll on into the theater on June 9th to find out. Speaking of getting weird, Pixar is back on June 16th with their new film, Elemental. This will mark the first time a Pixar film has screened in a movie theater in 4 years. That's right, the last Pixar film to play on the silver screen was Toy Story 4, and that was way back in 2019. This time we get a star-crossed love story between 2 of the 4 elements, specifically fire and water. I have to be honest, I hope they're hiding a lot more than they're showing us in the trailers, because even though I personally love Pixar films, this one is leaving me feeling a little cold. Also, on June 16th, we have what is easily the most anticipated movie of the summer, The Flash, with test screenings blowing the roof off of theaters, all of the tabloid drama with the star Ezra Miller, and the hotly anticipated return of Michael Keaton as the OG Batman 1989. Expect this to be the film to beat this summer, both in terms of accolades and box office numbers. Then on June 30th, Indiana Jones is back for his 5th and final adventure in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And for the first time since the 1981 film, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Steven Spielberg is not helming the project. Directed by James Mangold, who is known for films like Walk the Line, Night and Day, and the fantastic Wolverine swan song film Logan, Mangold has his work cut out for him. There isn't a lot known about the titular Dial of Destiny. Some say it will be a time travel movie, but I'm not so sure about that. I just know Indiana Jones is a property near and dear to Harrison Ford's heart, and I hope it ends on a high note for the actor. Hey, remember when I mentioned we were up to 10 Fast and Furious movies? Well, Tom Cruise just walked in and asked Vin Diesel to hold his beer because on July 14th, Cruise is back with the first half of a two-part Mission Impossible film, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. This will mark the 7th and 8th entries in the Ethan Hunt espionage series. So if they make 2 more Mission Impossible films, Tom Cruise gets a free sub. Nuclear attack class, I'm guessing? Speaking of Mission Impossible, it looks like Margot Robbie and director Greta Gerwig have actually done the impossible and created a fun and entertaining-looking Barbie movie. The trailer is filled with bold, bombastic color, unflinching, self-reflexive humor, and pitch-perfect casting in Barbie and Ken. But don't take your Corvette to Malibu quite yet. We will have to wait until July 21st to see if this film is anatomically correct or will it fall flat. And from bombshells to atomic bombs, also opening on July 21st is the first entry in this year's Oscars race, the biographical film Oppenheimer. The film is about the scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer and his work on the top-secret Manhattan Project, which ushered in the end of World War II and opened the Pandora's box of nuclear horrors for decades to come. This one is from legendary director Chris Nolan, so it's going to be both visually stunning and very, very mumbly. Disney's Haunted Mansion will be scaring its way into theaters on July 28th. This one's a real wild card to me. Right now, I can't really tell what to make of it. It does have a great cast of character actors, including Atlanta's like Keith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito, and Rosario Dawson. But it is difficult to pin down the actual tone of the film from the trailer. It looks like it wants to be scary, but seeing that it is based on a beloved Disney theme park attraction, I doubt it will really bring the scares. Then on August 4th, those heroes in a half shell are back again in animated form with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. And this one looks like a lot of fun. The pseudo hand-drawn 2.5D computer animation really lends itself to the Turtles style. And I'm always excited to see animation studios push the established norm of what an animated film should look like. This next film definitely took me by surprise. The best way to describe the last voyage of the Demeter is Alien, but on a boat set in the 1800s. The story is about a crew of a merchant ship that just happens to have Dracula stowing away on board. And it is actually based on Chapter 7 of Bram Stoker's Dracula, subtitled The Captain's Log. Now, this isn't your grandpa's Count Dracula, so sharpen those fangs and get your garlic necklace ready. The last voyage of the Demeter drops on August 11th. Anyone out there old enough to remember The Last Starfighter? Yes, no. It was a quirky little science fiction movie about a kid in a trailer park who plays video games so well he is recruited by aliens to fly a starfighter and save the galaxy. Well, weirdly enough, it sounds like Sony's new film, Gran Turismo, is taking a page from The Last Starfighter. The official synopsis from Sony claims their racing film is based on a true story about a Gran Turismo player whose gaming skills won him a series of Nissan competitions, eventually becoming a professional race car driver. As far-fetched as this idea sounds, knowing that Gran Turismo is one of the crown jewels in the PlayStation IP collection, I doubt they will make anything as weird as The Last Starfighter. Gran Turismo races into your town on August 11th. And finally, DC Comics' The Blue Beetle swoops in on August 18th to save the day. If you don't know anything about this superhero, I definitely recommend watching the animated series Young Justice, which has one of the best Blue Beetle storylines I've ever seen. This particular film was originally meant to be part of the greater DC Comics cinematic universe, but since James Gunn has taken over the helm, he has said that this film will live outside of his plans for a United film series. Although I have to admit the trailer makes this one look like a lot of fun. So that's a wrap. What movie are you most interested in seeing? Are there any summer flicks that didn't make my list? If so, we want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments so we can bring you all the best info on what's out there and what's coming up down the road. Also, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get you your next FOMO fix. Until next time, this is your man Wolfgang, and this is FOMO.